I'll break it down into 3 easy steps. Let's get into it. Alright, first things first, let's talk about setting up our scene. Before we dive into Blender, you'll need some LEGO models. Head over to mechabricks.com where you can find tons of LEGO assets. Once you're there, search for any models you need, like LEGO Batman and parts of the city. Export these and get them ready for import into Blender. I started by creating a LEGO city in a separate Blender project. This city became the background for my Batman animation. After setting up the city, I rendered it as a single image. Then I imported this image back into Blender as a plane for my scene background, which kept the file manageable and sped up the workflow. For lighting, I took inspiration from Animable's tutorial to achieve that perfect cinematic look. The key here was balancing the light to keep it dramatic and mysterious. I tried using a sky texture initially, but that clashed with the LEGO textures and caused some weird reflections. So I swapped it out and made the buildings in the background black to give the city a dark, moody Batman vibe. Then I added some stars for an extra touch. Now, on to animating. If you've been subscribed to my channel, you would know that the animation style of my latest upload, Thick of It, but in LEGO, came out smoother than my other videos. Why, you might ask? Normally, I use a frame-by-frame approach, but this time I switched to a Bezier keyframe animation style. This method lets me animate a bit faster, but I'm still deciding if I like it. Let me know if you prefer this new style or the old one in the comments. I started with Batman's walking cycle. For some reason, walking cycles always trip me up. I find it tough to get them looking natural. After some trial and error, I finally got a decent walk going. Next up was Batman's jump. It kept coming out stiff and mechanical, but after a lot of tweaking, I eventually got a smooth jump that looked right. Originally, I wanted Batman to glide using this cape, but the LEGO cape was too rigid. I thought about adding a cloth modifier, but for a 15-second clip, that would have been too much work. So instead, I pivoted to one of Batman's most iconic gadgets, the grappling gun. These are a last-minute decision, and I admit I rushed a bit, so you might spot some continuity errors if you look closely. Alright, the animation done, let's move on to sound design and rendering. First, I rendered all frames as PNGs and imported them as an image sequence into Blender's video editor. When I tried to preview the sequence, Blender struggled with the 400 frame count, so I rendered it as a video first. After re-rendering, I re-imported the video and added sound effects, footsteps, whooshes, some ambient city noises, and even a zipline effect for the grappling gun. I wanted each sound to add to the experience and make Batman's world feel alive. With everything set, it was time to render the final animation and upload it to YouTube. Rendering can take a while, especially if you have a lot of effects. But here, patience is key. And that's how I made my LEGO Batman animation in Blender. Hopefully this tutorial gave you some insight and maybe even inspired you to create your own animation. Subscribe for more content like this and drop a comment below on what should I animate next. 4, thanks for watching. 2, 1, enjoy.